situation could become a complete disaster for MrBeast's brand. However, it may also provide some unique benefits. So let's begin by going over the drama before explaining exactly how this will impact the MrBeast channel.
A lot of dislikes and a lot of backlash. If you look right here, SunnyV2 has 3.38 million subscribers, but only a few days ago he had 3.4 million, so he's lost around, what's that, 2,000 subscribers? Oh, I'm sorry, 2,000. It's actually 20,000. He's lost 20,000 subscribers because of this controversy. So let's take a look at this.
From the MrBeast team, specifically how he announced he's undergoing hormone replacement therapy. Originally, I wasn't going to make a video about it because, frankly, who cares? This is just an adult making the best decision for their life, and it doesn't impact the viewer at all, so why talk about it?
V2, one of the most popular commentary channels right now on YouTube, is getting cancelled for uploading one of the worst videos of his career.
Commentary creators past coming to hunt him. Chris from MrBeast Under Fire, along with the other MrBeast Incorporated thingy, whatever it is, YouTube. Other countless YouTubers chiming in on their takes within this topic. All of this is just from a single few bits of tweets and a few bits of comments from Chris himself. How did all this happen within a short time frame? Sit back with me and we'll go over what's happened with Chris from MrBeast. It appears to all start on November 5th, 2020 with this tweet from Chris Tyson. Also, I want to use my alt to let everyone know that I am bisexual, and when I told a few people I did when I was 16, I got a lot of negative backlash from friends/family. Just know if the people around you don't love and support you, we always will. So as Chris states in this tweet, he's been bisexual since he was at least 16 and was perhaps questioning it for even longer. So this could have happened when he was 13 even.
Of queer kids who look up to him, although this doesn't necessarily mean that it'll add any value to the videos. MrBeast has likely cultivated a massive LGBT audience, all of whom are already watching anyway, and if we've learned anything from Hollywood in recent years, it's that adding over-the-top LGBT characters for the sake of relatability rarely works as intended, and is often nothing more than a distraction from the premise of the movie or video. On top of this, it can be uncomfortable and unrelatable for the silent majority, although as we have seen, a situation like Chris's does have the potential to create an otherworldly amount of discussion, which could be seen as a benefit for the MrBeast brand.
Drama is good for growth, 100%. That would be an easy way to up my...
What SunnyV2 does, or what it seems from the majority as to what he has stated in this video, is that he kind of just assumptuated that Chris's transition was an off-the-cuff, spur-in-the-moment type, oh yeah, I want to wake up and today I want to be transgender or whatever, even though that physically is not the case at all. Stuff like this usually takes a lot of time and mental fortitude to get over. Not only that, he paints MrBeast by saying, this type of like drama is good for the channel. We like absolutely for this growth, while the clip cuts off there, so we don't even know if he was implying that for his own channel or not.
Comparing Jimmy making videos with Chris Tyson after Chris Tyson came out as transgender to Hollywood planting in LGBT characters to their movies for the sake of like relatability, which I think is a totally like stupid comparison.
As we see, I'm not the only person who has these beliefs upon what SunnyV2 said, as Cheeto holds similar opinions to me as to the topic of the statement.
And more traits that remind me of my grandmother. Okay, so some people just gonna ignore Chris's nails. Chris had to have lost a bet. The look is getting wild. The response to the video then prompted countless viral TikToks, such as this one with 700,000 likes, stating how did Chris go from this to this, while others even made the claim that Carl had turned him gay.
Credit to where credit is due. Sunny never outright said that Carl did turn him gay, but it's presented into a account in which it seems plausible, which from the first tweet I read is obviously not true, as Carl joined way after Chris had turned 16.
Over a year now, Meat and Katie have been separated, with this also confirming that Chris's transformation began as soon as his marriage came to an end. Chris went from lighting campfires and raising a family with his beautiful wife to now trying to be a wife with his man buns and long nails.
As we see within this tweet, what he's saying is technically true. People are still painting him a little weird. By him, I mean Sunny V2, painting Sunny V2 a tad bit weird for going in depth into Chris's personal life. However, Cheeto sums up perfectly, and I know I'm using his content a lot, but I really agree with a few points he makes, especially this final one, where he says that, yeah, if you want to... Actually, I'll let the clip speak for itself. My apologies.
Schizo, he's analyzing people in the room to try to determine whether or not they're comfortable being around Chris Tyson, right? I don't know if that's Sunny V2 being a schizo or if he's actually onto something, but before that, he did provide some comments on this video that are getting almost like they're getting thousands of likes. You know, it's probably the most awkward stream ever made. Thousands of likes that are criticizing this stream, and he shows the like to dislike bar. Now, if you actually look at the stream that he's talking about with Chris, you know, being publicly very feminine and everything, right? This one actually has more dislikes than likes. So if we factor that in with the fact that he's getting hate comments and stuff, this drama is drama, right? Like, it is becoming a problem for Mr. Beast. This like to dislike ratio is a problem. Now, I don't know if it's going to be a nightmare or whatever, but it is definitely a problem, right? So it's not completely baseless. Like, he's not making up some you know, stupid drama that isn't existing. He's giving you evidence here, right? Now, the drama with Sunny V2 and what's getting him the most feedback is...
Well, yes, we have this take from Cheeto. We also have this take from Ludwig, which is as, or if not a tad bit more, not correct, but more logical almost. Like, yeah, if someone that hasn't heard this drama until my video would stumble upon the two of these takes, would more often than not lean with Ludwig's take than a Cheeto's take, and that's the honest truth.
This is not like there was no drama. All right, a person made a choice that HRT would make them happier. That's it. The drama is all you fucks talking about it like it's somehow like the devil. It's not. It doesn't impact anything at all. I don't get it at all. This whole video, I mean, you could have just said, hey, I'm outwardly transphobic and I feel like I don't like when people take HRT, and it would have been more honest. All right, we would have got to the point quicker rather than wasting 9 minutes and 7 seconds of listening to it. But I don't know. The whole shit seems wild to me. But let's talk to the person who he's talking about. He said Chris could be a nightmare for Mr. Beast. What does Mr. Beast think? This is getting absurd. Chris isn't my nightmare. He's my fucking friend, and things are fine. All this transphobia is starting to piss me off.
Now y'all have heard this term thrown out a bunch within this video, so here is the Google definition of HRT. Hormone replacement therapy, HRT, is a treatment used to relieve symptoms of the menopause. It replaces the female hormones that are left at a lower level as you experience the menopause. Estrogen and progesterone, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce those words, are female hormones that play important roles in a woman's body. So basically, it's when a man wants to pause the male hormone growth and have the female hormone growth like upped.
The only clean solution should things go south might be for Chris to resign himself, and even then rumors and bad press will be unavoidable. Whether it be arrogance or ignorance, Chris seems oblivious to how this whole thing might impact Jimmy.
Sunny V2's last point is honestly laughable. It's so bad. His first point is that Chris might have to leave from the Mr. Beast crew because of this. This is literally his financial livelihood. This is where he gets all of his income. So why would you ever like say that? And second off, he's Mr. Beast's friend, so I think he'll let the views drop a little bit, then cut off his friend. Another thing is that he has to worry about my apologies, but they should be more worried about what Mr. Beast has to deal with now. This was Chris. When did Mr. Beast ever get involved with this sort of like thing, whatever thingamabobber doohickeys going on with Chris, bro?
find what makes him happy in life.
And while there was a possibility that Chris would make efforts to return to his former self,
I feel like the implication of that sentence is go back. Actually, don't explore what makes you happy. Don't do what you want to do. Don't be who you are. It's go back to the more masculine you, which I don't know if that's Sunny V2 just being horny for how Chris looked in 2017 or what, but it's fucking weird either way. And then he says this comment:
he'd rather do the opposite and double down on his feminine image.
As we see, Ludwig's take is very strong upon the situation and how Sunny V2 has structured his video and sentences to not the best. Now, others have chimed in, but Ludwig's wasn't necessarily aggressive, but very defensive of Chris, which it's nice to see two sides of a token every once in a while.
A woman now, and he got a lot of mixed reactions because of that. People were saying, oh, I love this is great, go off, queen. And other people were saying, oh, what the hell's wrong with you? You're throwing your life away, you have a kid that you should care about, and you're doing this. Now,
As we reach the conclusion to the Chris drama, I wish I could say it concludes within a not necessarily happy ending, but a peaceful ending. But of course, you can't get what you want on the internet when it comes to peace. And Chris Tyson himself was involved in a not necessarily beef, but just him dog shitting on someone, more or less. Like, everyone was against him upon this. But let's see what transpired between Chris and this Twitter user.
Now, I don't think that any extreme on this issue, the people that are like supporting this diehard and the people that are hating this diehard, I don't think either of them are right. I think when it comes...
Now, see, what he just said is completely correct. That is a W take, a massive W's for Cheeto. I agree wholeheartedly. And too extreme of anything is horrible. Let's just use something for example. Wait. Extremely cutting your diet to eating almost nothing isn't good. You still need nutrients. But also eating too much is also really bad for you, because you're getting too much nutrients as you're getting fat as fuck. So an extreme of anything, whether it's a lack of or too much of something, is bad either way.
Interaction that he had with Chris from Mr. Beast in the DMs. Some context before I show you this conversation. Yoxic made a tweet about Chris Tyson that was basically shitting on him, and then Chris Tyson condemned Yoxic pretty publicly, but I guess after the public condemnation, he DMs him this: by the way, I forgot to DM you, but that tweet was funny AF. Hope it didn't get you any extra heat. I was leaning into the joke, but now I got family members asking if some random article about me suing you and that other guy are real, LMAO. Classic Twitter.com users not understanding the concept of quote-unquote jokes. All love, though. So Chris basically put this guy on blast in public and is now going to his DMs to say, oh yeah, I know I put you on blast in public, but it's all jokes. It's all love, bro. Which, gonna be honest, kind of a snaky move, right? Like, kind of some stereotypical slime ball activity. It's like the switch up when you get into the private setting is so cringy. This, to me, gives off the vibes of, like, you're with your friend, and then he's with a girl he's interested in, and Toxic rightfully responds with, I wasn't joking, I do not with you, which I think is fair. I mean, when somebody with a huge platform like Chris brings any sort of negative attention to you,
I 100% agree with Yoxis in this scenario. If someone threatens you on the internet and actually causes you real world harassment or just harassment in general, you're completely entitled to be like, I wasn't joking, I don't fuck with you. That is completely a rational thing to say, even though in my opinion, the best thing he could have done is just completely ignore it at all, leave him on scene. But you know what? If you really felt that, not necessarily threatened, but that offended, then he had to get that out in some sort of way. More power to him, I suppose.
Tweets this screenshot, and then Chris actually responds by saying, oh, def fuck with me enough to leech off the clout of me coming out, LMAO. All good though, I don't fuck with you either. Glad I could give you your 15 seconds of fame then. LMAO. And as you can see, Chris did end up ratioing this person, but I just think that that's because of the numbers, right? So if we go to Chris's profile,
My main problem with this is that there comes into a point where in a YouTuber's career where you can't get into like pointless beasts like this anymore, especially when you're working for the most successful YouTube channel in the history of ever. Like I guess not necessarily solo anymore, but like you're bigger than PewDiePie, who had the crown for years upon years. You're bigger than Markiplier, any of the giants, giga giants, even some conglomerates at the time of YouTube's startup, or even a couple years ago. Especially if you have a son, you shouldn't be like partaking in any sort of Twitter drama like at all in like Chris's position. That is completely outrageous.
with a heart emoji, and then Yoxic responds just with ratio, which, you know, he didn't win, but again, we kind of knew how that was gonna go. So, and then Yoxic says ratio, and then Chris says ratio this, then we'll talk kissing emoji, and it's a wire transfer bank account, and it's him doing $1 million bank wire transfer. It's like, dude, what the do you have to prove? You're working for the most successful YouTuber ever, and you're getting into Twitter beef with a guy with 40k followers. And it's not just any beef, it's a beef where you felt so offended because this guy didn't accept your apology for coming at him publicly that you went on to flex that you can wire transfer $1 million. Like, how pathetic is that, dude? Like, you're actually a loser for this.
That is completely unacceptable from Chris. With the stance he's in right now and his presence within media, that should have never come out. That is like rice gum 2014 YouTube level of scummery. That's like, what was the point in even that? Flexing you can do on $1 million like wiring transfer. I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what that is. A wire transfer? What? That is just horrible on every level. Like, he has 40,000 subscribers, not subscribers, followers. What are you doing? You're wasting your time. In conclusion, let's talk about what we touched on in hopefully chronological order. My apologies if I miss anything. The Sunny V2 drama. I'm only going to say the big three. Sunny V2 drama. The attacks upon Chris Tyson and other content creators such as Ludwig defending him. And then the closing segment was Chris's Twitter drama. Now, we have reached the end of the video where I have to do the shameless YouTuber thing where I ask you to comment, like, and subscribe and all that. But yeah, like, I want to do that. But if this video did pique your interest and there's other videos that you do want to see, it's on the card now. The little like card things. I don't know where they're gonna be, but they're up here. I don't know. Go follow my Instagram, TikTok. Go join the Discord. All the basic things YouTube require you to say for me to stay. Any sort of little relevancy I'm clinging on to with my 200 followers. But anyways, thank you for watching. Do everything I told you to do. Bye-bye.